all plugged in up here. I mean, nothing. It's not working. What do I got to click for the audio?
.443, I think.
I think 33, but you're right.
433.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it, but Dan. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 4
1 2 3 4
test 1 2 3. Oh, did we get it? Test 8
9 10 8 9 10
1 2 buckle my shoe 3 4 shut the door. I haven't heard that in about 40 years.
Shut the door. 5 6 pick your sticks
pick up sticks. 7 8 set them up straight. Test 1 2 3 1 2 3 4
9 10 score again.
Yeah. Go Panthers. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. We're good? All right.
Hey.
All right. Hey, just
live.
Okay. All right. Should I just go on? All right. Florida Tech Men's Lacrosse is on the air this afternoon from Panther Field. We have an absolutely beautiful day for a big lacrosse game as the Florida Tech Panthers host the Tampa Spartans. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. J.C. Miles with you on the Panther website, which is FloridaTechSports.com. Tampa comes in with a record of 8-1. They're the number 5 team, the latest USIA or USILA poll. Their last game was against a very good team in Lindenwood, Missouri, and they won that game by the score of 12-6. Their only loss came to Colorado Mesa, who's number 16 in the country. Again, Tampa is number 5. And the Florida Tech Panthers coming in with a record of 2-4. They've struggled a bit this year, but they can start making amends with this conference opener. Again, both teams opening conference today. Florida Tech with a big win over Morris Hill last Wednesday, 17-7, as Taji Mobley scored a career-high 6 goals. Again, J.C. Miles joined by John Combs. John, great to have you here for this one, and certainly for the Florida Tech men's lacrosse program. This is their 7th year. The litmus test for them has always been Tampa. They have never beaten them, and Tampa, in fact, beats everybody in the Sunshine State Conference. They're 20-0 since the conference was formed for men's lacrosse. So, for Florida Tech, obviously a big game, and should be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah, Jay-Z, glad to be here. I think this is one of those games that FIT circles on their calendar, and they kind of look forward to this one. This is their opportunity to take a bite, at the top-tier team in the division and the country. So
we're going to pause for our national anthem. We'll be right back. our national anthem from Panther Field. We're inside the Olin Complex. Again, an absolutely beautiful day, sunny, clear blue skies for this big lacrosse game. Again, both teams, Tampa and Florida Tech, opening up their conference season. Again, as I was mentioning before the break with John, I mean, Tampa has dominated this conference since the outset. And again, 20-0 overall. And yeah, you were just mentioning, John?
Yeah, I think if you're FIT, this is a game you look forward to. You want to put your skills up against some of the best, not only in the conference, but in the nation in Division II. And this is a good test. You got nothing to lose. Come out and go hard and see where you're at.
Well, last year, Florida Tech and Tampa played twice. The regular season game was over in Tampa. Tampa won that 15-10, and then they met in the Sunshine State Conference Championship game for the second time in 3 years, and Tampa won that game 12-8. So the last two games have been by a margin of 5 and a margin of 4. And, you know, when you get that in lacrosse, I mean, that kind of tells the opponent, even if they lose, I mean, they're in the game. You know, I guess with Tampa being the kind of club they are, you just can't let them go on a 4 or 5 goal streak in a row. Otherwise, it gets too wide.
There's going to be ebb and flows, and it's a matter of how you handle those emotionally and you know, stay in the game. Because, like I said, you're 3, 4, 5 goals away. You're still in this thing. It's a possession here, a face-off here, a ground ball there, you know, and a stop away from getting yourself right back in it. So, you know, I think the Tech's nipping at the heels here, and hopefully they can climb a little bit more on another rung on the ladder here today.
Well, as I mentioned, Taji Mobley, a career-high 6 goals in the win over Morris Hill last week, 17-7, and Mosley leads the Panthers in goal scoring with 14. Close behind is Carson Clough with 13, and then you got Logan Sweeney with 7. And for Tampa, I mean, they are loaded as usual. Andrew Q, in fact, they had to double-check the pronunciation of that name. Yeah, it's Q. Good. Andrew Q, spelled K-E-W, not C-U-E. Right. K-E-W. But Andrew Q leads the team with 21 goals. You got Brian Wright with 19, Jake Mosher-McGraw with 17, Matt Vetter with 12. So you got 4 double-digit goal scorers for Tampa, 3 for Florida Tech. And certainly Q is the guy you got to keep an eye on. He set the all-time record for NCAA Division II for most goals in a year. He scored 86 goals last year, John. Can you believe that? Yeah,
the ball is probably going to go through him a little bit today, too.
Well, again, Tampa was 15-5 last year. They're 8-1 this year. But, boy, you do some figuring. He averaged about 4.5 goals per game last year. So he is one of just a few people Florida Tech's going to have to stop on the defensive end. So here we go. Florida Tech, as usual. Kind of the gray shirts with the crimson colors, and Tampa, known as red and black, with their school colors, road red, white numbers, and black shorts. I like their outlook. Nice big numbers in the back of the jersey. Again, we're right here at midfield at the Panther football field, and again, a beautiful day. So looking forward to this one. And Panther women are going to play Saturday afternoon at 4 over at Palm Bay Magnet Stadium, Florida Tech Panther Stadium. This is a big lacrosse week for Florida Tech for the men and the women. The men are also going to be here at noon on Saturday against Mount Olive, a very good program. So here we go with the draw as usual for Florida Tech. Lance Pavlina, and 24 is Ross Dickerson, one of the best in the conference, and Tampa wins it, and we're underway. This is Julian Bombard, number 22. He drops it back to Blaine Birch. Birch trying to get it around Addison Abramson. Abramson, the All-American for Florida Tech, the lone one returning from last year. So Birch is taking a trip around the field, gives it up, comes over to Mosher-McGraw. His first name is Jake. Goes left side to Vetter. Vetter about 15 yards out. Again, Daniel Flock, as usual, starting in goal for the Panthers. So Tampa just working it around, looking for a good shot. Here's Vetter. Trying to penetrate, shut off nicely by Howard. Good double team there with Howard and also Welsh. Comes out in front, McGraw. McGraw trying to make a quick move, getting hacked at by Abramson. And there's a loose ball, but Tampa's going to pick it up.
Tech's going to have to gobble up those 50-50 balls. They did a nice job right there dislodging the ball, putting it on the ground, and they're going to have to come up with that in this type of game if they want to kind of have a win here. Every ground ball has to be theirs.
Well, I'll tell you, Tampa plays a lot of players. They certainly have a little more depth than Florida Tech does. I think I've got about 35 or 40 players listed on my sheet here who could get into the game. Here's Q, again, big-time goal scorer, 86 last year, 21 so far this year. Gets a shot off. It's right in the crease, and Saved by Florida Tech. I don't know if that was Flock or somebody else.
Now, that was a good save by the goalie. Good stop there. Now get the ball down the field. Let your offense do a little work, take a little pressure off the defense here, and see what we can do here.
Flock has allowed 60 goals, a 10.12 goals per game average, and Flock coming all the way out. A good 20 yards in front of his net. Flips it up to midfield. And with it is Logan Sweeney having another great year.
Great clear there, a lot of patience, spread the field, and just waited for their right matchup and got the ball over. So let's hopefully the offense can take care of the ball here, get a good set and a quality look at the cage.
Here comes Clough, again, second leading goal scorer for the Panthers. In the slot shot, that was by Sweeney. It turned away by the Tampa goalkeeper. That's B.J. Borowski. Comes back to Sweeney, trying to make a move, does so, goes back behind the net. So Florida Tech looking for the quick passes and trying to spread things out here. Comes out in front, a save by Borowski.
Yeah, that wasn't a high-quality shot at that point in time. I think they could have pulled that back out and reset themselves, but hopefully they can ride it back here and get another shot at it.
That was Mason Ostrowski with that last shot, and he gives a little shot to the Tampa player. That's Luke Posner, number 7.
That's a big boy right there, number 7. You're going to take a little bit more of a bigger hit to get him down.
All right, here comes Blaine Birch. He is being surrounded by Chaconis. And here comes the double team with Fornadal. Now with it is Perry. Perry gives it up to Chris Cox. And again, Tampa, they're going to shuttle a lot of players in and out, so trying to keep up with this roster on the field is going to be a challenge. I think I got every significant name on there on my big sheet.
Excellent job doing that.
Number 17 with it, that's Hunter Van Horn. Goes over to Gary. Now trying to rush in, it's Wright. Again, Wright, one of the double-digit goal scorers for the Spartans. Goes over the side to Cox. So Florida Tech's only had really one good possession, and Tampa dominating the possession time here. Here's Gary trying to get in, getting checked at. Comes outside. Here's Van Horn. Good defense by Florida Tech, clogging up the middle here.
Tech's doing a nice job of clogging up the alley dodges.
There's a shot and a save. That shot was by Chris Cox, number 32.
And it looks like Tampa's trying to do a little bit more of a wing dodge, put a little more stress on those adjacent defenders for Tech. And Tech's doing a nice job talking through these.
So again, no score. We're about 3 minutes in. Get J.C. Mariold's John Combs out here at Panther Field. Sunshine State Conference opener for both teams. So everybody's got a clean slate in conference. And there's a shot. That's a bullet by Wright. Goes over the head of Flock, and it's going to stay with the Spartans. Outside with it is Bombard. Bombard gets it back. Here comes the pressure by Howard. Bombard will circle out on top. Gets it to Q. Again, K-E-W on the last name, Andrew Q. Trying to bull his way in. Good shutdown there. That was by Abramson. Now back behind the net is Pugliese. Trying to get a shot off Van Horn, getting checked at. Now with it, Cox, he falls down. Loose ball. John, you're talking about loose balls. Who's going to get to this one? It's still loose, and Florida Tech's going to get it.
Yeah, nice job right there. That's good. The defense was getting worn down a little bit. That was a good time to have the stop right there. Now you can take a little pressure off them, let the offense work. Good time in possession offense right here. We don't really need a quick score. I think we need to give our defense a little bit of a break.
So Florida Tech with their second true possession of this game. Again, we're about 4 minutes in. Chaconis goes back behind the net to Ostrowski. Now with it is Luke Palmisano. Palmisano being watched by Posner. Now way out on top, it's Sweeney. Again, Sweeney having a very good year. He's being defended here by Gary. Sweeney trying to bull his way in. Gary shadowing him. Outside with a shot, and that one goes way wide, high and wide.
That was a good opportunity miss. Got in the slot there at about the 12-yard mark, and didn't get that ball on cage. But, again, time in possession and is going to be key here today.
Here's Chaconis trying to bull his way in. There's a shot, and it goes high and wide. Again, we have no score.
Yeah, both defenses are strong. Offenses are not clicking as well as they both could right now. So I think the nerves are a little bit here. So once they settle down, I think we're in for a high-quality game here from both sides.
Here's Palmisano outside to Mobley. Now to Sweeney. Sweeney trying to work his way in. Gets a shot off the short side. It's deflected, I think, by Borowski. And out of bounds, Florida Tech will keep it.
Both goalies are getting their work in today.
Here's Sweeney trying to get in. Good shut off by Tampa. Behind the net, Ostrowski. Outside Chaconis. Shot, and it goes high and wide.
Broken stick. Too bad just couldn't get a restart. You had an advantage here, but now we're back to full strength. Broken stick on Tampa player. He has to drop the stick and get off the field. So Tech had a 6-on-5 situation there. Just unfortunately couldn't take advantage of it.
Here's Chaconis. Again, bullying his way in. Ball loose on the field. Who's going to get it? We got a whistle.
Be a loose ball push on Tampa. It's going to stay Tech's ball.
Okay. So Florida Tech will keep it. Sweeney will bring it in from a good 40 yards out. In front of the goaltender. Again, that's B.J. Borowski, who's only a freshman. Goes back behind the net. Ostrowski. Palmisano trying to set a pick. Does so. Now Palmisano has it. Off to the side. It's Chaconis. Out on top. Mobley. Mobley trying to work his way in. Good shut off there. We got a flag. Or a penalty. Delay penalty, Tampa. Ball dropped, and Tampa is going to be penalized here. We'll see what it is.
Looks like a 1-minute slash to the helmet. I'm not sure which player it was. Maybe 23 or 32. I'm not quite sure yet.
Spartans number 23.
23.
Robideau, 1 minute for slashing.
Luke Robideau, 1 minute for slashing. He's out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Boy, big kid, 6'3", 200. That's pretty good built for lacrosse.
Yeah, Tampa's got some big boys on the team. They're strong, and we'll see what the man-up opportunity is here for Tech.
So man up for Florida Tech. They've struggled in this area traditionally. I talked to Mark Penn before the game. Says the man-up's been a lot better, not necessarily just in goals, but in quality shots. So they're working it around here outside of Chaconis.
Yeah, you just don't want your man-up to hurt you. You want to get good looks at the cage. Hopefully a few of them go in, but you don't want to hurt yourself in these situations.
There's Chaconis with a bullet. Boy, that whistled over the head of Borowski. Florida Tech will keep it. So we're probably down to about 35 seconds left in the man-up.
Tech comes out in a 1-3-2 set, looking to pick down on the crease, get a little on the rotation of Tampa player, trying to get that guy caught up there.
On the man-up, Florida Tech's only converted 26%, but again, Mark Penn says lately, at least the ball movement's been better if the goals haven't shown up. And again, you just want the ball moving, you want the quality shots. Here's Chaconis. Probably down to about 20 seconds left in the penalty. Covey has his shot deflected nicely. That was by Jack Tyrell, and it goes out of bounds.
I'd like to see Tech wheel it to this right side of the goal. I think they have an advantage over here if they can move the ball a little quicker and get a little step off the crease.
Outside Sweeney to Covey. There's a shot in the goal. And that's Mason Ostrowski with a goal from a severe angle. Got it past Borowski, and Florida Tech is up 1-0.
Yeah, that was a quality set. A lot of looks, moved the ball well, and put Tampa in a pretty stressful situation. So it's good to strike early, but this face is going to be another important factor in the game. Hopefully we can control the face and get some 50-50 ground balls from good wing play.
So Ostrowski, usually you don't think about him when it comes to scoring goals, so nice play by him.
Yeah, Tampa was doing a nice job shutting down this left side, and I think moving the ball to the right side of the man up was the way to go.
So Florida Tech off to a good start, but we got a long ways to go. But they are up 1-0 for Ostrowski, just his third goal of the year.
Yeah, good face-off right there. Can work some clock, get another good set. I think Coach Mack would be happy with 1-2-minute offenses and some quality shots on cage. Play a little small ball, if you will, here.
Comes over to the side. That's Palmisano with it.
Especially with Tampa's numbers and a fairly warm day, you don't want to get into an up-and-down battle up and down the field.
So Florida Tech with it. With it is Clough. Clough being watched by Lucchese.
A good matchup. We got Clough on a short stick, and hopefully he can draw a double, but he's got to be able to move that on, and unfortunately they're going to get lucky here. The ball's off Tampa. He's got to pull out that double and move it on, because that means we're 5-on-4 somewhere else. So he did his job, got the double. Let's move the ball on next.
Goes back behind the net. It's Clough. Clough being watched by Tyrell. And Clough picks it back up, trying to get by Tyrell. Out to the side. Justin Williams, the freshman, out to Chaconis. Chaconis going one-on-one against Bombard.
Oh, I call him for a ward right there.
So Tampa possession. So Tampa trying to regroup in their own end. He goes back to Borowski in goal. Borowski's averaged just giving up 8.58 goals per year, or per game, rather. Ball loose, and Florida Tech picks it up. It's loose again. Diving play by Aberson, but picked up by Perry of Tampa, and here come the Spartans.
Yeah, little footing issues right now for both teams. They're not getting the foot, a little slip here, slip there, and another loose ball not going our way. So we'll see at the end of the game how those stack up. But hopefully, Tech can do a better job of winning those 50-50 loose ball battles.
With it is McGraw. McGraw scored 29 goals last year. Out behind the net, right. Now comes back out on top to Hanlon. Hanlon to Vetter. Vetter being watched by Howard. Here comes a pick by Q. Right side. Now outside Vetter. About 15 yards in front of the net. Trying to work his way in. There's another pick by McGraw. But Florida Tech picking up the switches pretty well.
They're doing a nice job on the switches and really packing these guys together a little bit. So
there's a shot. I think might have hit the post.
I think it did. Here it comes.
And it comes back to Tampa in their own end. Picking up is Posner. He was second team All Sunshine State Conference last year. He is the captain of the team.
And the reason that's not an over and back is it's coming off the pipe as a shot. So normally if the offense was to lose possession of the ball and it comes over the midline, it's a loss of possession, an over and back call. But since that was a shot, that's why that's not an over and back.
It's really amazing to me how many times you can hit the post in a game. You would think that the odds wouldn't be that good, but
well, it's the post is the goalie's best friend. He'll
definitely
tell you that all the time. He had every angle shut down. So
yeah.
There's
All right, loose ball picked up by Howard. So Howard running it up. The senior out of Potomac, Maryland. So Florida Tech up 1-0. I think we're about 10 minutes in. Again, 15-minute quarters in men's lacrosse. Comes back outside, Taji Mobley. Again, Mobley 6 goals in the win over Morris Hill. And again, the team's leading goal scorer. Not a guy that really played last year. Really an emerging player. Chaconis way outside as Florida Tech really spreading it out.
I think Chaconis, that's the matchup you want to exploit. We got a short stick on him. He's a big kid, but they match him with another big kid. So you're looking at their helmets. Those are both big players right there. But that might be the matchup you want to go attack at.
All right, here comes Justin Williams. Very impressive freshman.
Oh, he's open on
There's
the
a pass. There's a shot. That goes way wide and high. That was by Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley kind of could have pulled that trigger a little sooner as that guy slid on, maybe a little face dodge and get at the cage a little bit more to free his hands up.
Here's Ostrowski bringing it back in again. Mason with the only goal of the game so far. Again, Florida Tech up 1-0 here in the first quarter. Here comes Mobley bringing it out on top to Ostrowski, the 2 crisscross.
Oh, moving screen right there. That's unfortunate. Another two errors right there. A ward and a moving screen.
So just like in basketball, you can't move in the screen.
No, you have to be stationary there. And those are mental errors, and hopefully not too many of those will stack up against us. But those are things that Tech needs to get out of their mindset and out of their repertoire if they're going to have opportunities against quality teams here.
Comes out on top to Hanlon.
Mistakes you just can't afford.
And with it now, Chris Cox. Cox feeds it to Van Horn right in front of the Panther bench. Picks it up. Now Cox with it, being given a lot of room by Ostrowski. There's a pick there. With it right. Trying to get a quality shot off. Good double team there by Florida Tech. That's Philippou, one of the double teamers. Comes outside. Not a very good pass, a bounce pass, but it is going to be picked up by Q. Q one-on-one against Fornano. Fornadell. I knew I was going to struggle with that name. Mark Penn told me how to pronounce it, and I can't quite get it in my head.
We got 1 minute left in the first quarter. This would be a real great boost to win the end of the quarter here and to win this quarter. They got to buckle down. They got 46 seconds left to go. Hopefully they can get their stop. Tampa looks a little bit out of sorts right now, but they're starting to get their bus legs here. And
that's right, with it trying to get out in front. Ball dropped right out in front. Shot. Oh, it went wide. It's loose in the crease. Bounding ball and picked up by Flock. Flock with a long pass. Looks like about a 70-yard pass in football. Palmisano trying to pick it up. Trying to bat it to his teammate Mobley. Does so. Mobley now double teamed. Closing seconds of this first quarter. And we got a timeout. Timeout Florida Tech is... what is that, about 15 seconds, John? Can you tell?
It's hard to tell. I think it is. Good timeout. You're able to control your destiny at the end of the quarter, run a set play, and get a look at the cage and not give Tampa an opportunity to even you up before the end of the period.
Well, I don't have that. I don't have this info in front of me. I'm wondering if Tampa's had any scoreless quarters this year. Again, they come in 8-1. Probably not.
I would think not. I would think that's an impressive job on the defense of Tech to hold high-powered offense like Tampa to no score in a quarter. But as a defensive coach, if you can hold a team to under 2 goals a quarter, I think that you'd be really happy with.
That'd be a big goal. Yeah, 2 or 3 goals, you're definitely in the game. So again, time out of the field. Want to thank some of our sponsors: the Broken Barrel Tavern, also Florida Today, Maverick Multimedia, Mercedes-Benz Porsche Audi of Melbourne, and also. So goal-wise, we're really still struggling, but maybe the ball movement's been good. Am I on?
Ball moving in possession time. At least, if you're not turning it over, that's a good thing.
All right, John Combs, looks like we are back on the air. We apologize for the technical difficulties. You haven't missed much. Florida Tech still with a 1 goal by Ostrowski in the first quarter. It's 1-0 Florida Tech. Panthers with some good ball movement here. There's a shot and a save beautifully by Borowski. Rebound goal. And that was Mobley, who scored 6 against Mars Hill, getting his first of the day, and Florida Tech leads it 2-0.
Now this is going to be an interesting call. I think they may have goalie interference, but it's the ball's in the air.
Well, let's see what they decide here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's waved off, huh?
Yeah, that was a tough one. The goalie made a great save, popped the ball up in the air, and it's a 50-50 ball. I don't know. It's too hard to tell. It's such a bang-bang play. That's a tough one.
So I wanted to say that Mobley scored his 15th, but it's been waved off, so still 1-0 Florida Tech.
Yeah, you never like to see that near side referee look at the far side official, question that. I don't know. I'd like to see that one again in the film.
So somebody for us was in front of the goalie creating havoc?
The goalie popped the ball up and then went to reach for it, and then number 5, Mobley, went to grab it. Now, did he interfere with the goalie stick? Was the ball in the goalie stick at the time? That's the question. I thought he grabbed it cleanly and got a nice rebound shot, but the referees decided other. That could be a big call in this game.
Yeah. Again, in this one so far, goals at a premium. Again, we're underway in the second quarter. Florida Tech clinging to a 1-0 lead. So here come the Spartans. Florida Tech lately has dominated the time possession. Here comes Bradley being hacked at by Williams. Getting hacked at quite a bit. But Bradley doesn't let it faze him. Goes back behind the net to Wright. Wright with it. Comes back outside. Goes over to Hanlon. Hanlon and McGraw playing catch. Now McGraw comes over to Vetter. Howard gives him a lot of room. Back over the other side, Hanlon. Hanlon gets a nice pick from Q. Trying to get a shot off, but good defense by Williams. Hanlon shot deflected by Flock over the net, out of bounds, and Tampa will keep it.
I'd like to see the Tech defense hedge out a little bit on these side screens here. I think they're allowing the player to play through, and he's getting a half step behind that offensive player. So I'd like to see the man that's guarding the guy that's setting the pick step out and hedge him and turn him a little bit.
Well, Wright dropped his stick after being checked by Cribben. Cribben now throws it. to the other side. Now it comes back to Flock and the Panther goal.
Good patience on that clear. Nice job. Good defense right there.
Here's Justin Williams coming in. Goes back behind the net. Ostrowski trying to get it out in front. Now off to the side. Outside it's Chaconis. Here's Clough. Clough trying to move in. Shot, and it went wide. Florida Tech will keep it. So we're a few minutes into this second quarter. Again, Florida Tech up 1-0 on the goal by Ostrowski, and that has been it. So very low-scoring game.
Both defenses are playing well. Both goalies are playing really well. Offenses aren't at full efficiency right now, but hopefully they'll work the kinks out on both ends, and we'll get the ball in the back of the net here. But again, if you're Tech, you're happy. Your time of possession is probably leading your ground balls, or you're up on that, and you have the lead 1-0.
Palmisano outside the Clough. Florida Tech's passing has been really good. They've really spaced the field, but some of their shots have been offline.
It'll be interesting to see how long the referees let them spin the ball around here and before they put the shot clock on them.
Here's Palmisano. Yeah, again, there is a 30-second shot clock, but I guess it's not moving. It's at the discretion of the official, right? Because there's a little clock over there, and it's still staying on 30. We got a whistle. Now, in the women's game, they got a 90-second shot clock, and that's always going. So,
yeah, that would be the nice thing to do with the men's game. And once you have 90 seconds to get the ball up the field and get a shot on cage, now I guess it's a reset if the ball has the opportunity to go in the cage, whether it hits the goalie or comes out the pipes.
Okay, now the shot clock is moving. We're down to 15 seconds, so Florida Tech has to shoot or it'll be a turnover. Here's Sweeney. Sweeney to Chaconis. Down to 8 seconds of the clock. Chaconis' shot is wide, goes out of bounds.
See, there's an opportunity. That was a shot on the goal, but it didn't hit anything, so it doesn't get a reset.
Yeah, so 6 seconds left, so Florida Tech has to get a shot off here of some sort. There's a shot by Chaconis, but it goes high and wide.
And that's fine. You put the ball in the corner like that, set up your ride. Don't try to keep things as settled as possible where you're not playing an unsettled a ride here. Hopefully they can get to they're not settled. They didn't get on and off the field here, so they're giving Tampa the advantage to clear the ball up the field.
So we're almost midway through this second quarter. Again, Florida Tech up 1-0. Trying to work it out of his own end is Robideau. Now up to midfield, this is Podlovitz. Drops it to Van Horn. Van Horn being watched by Abramson with that long stick. Now over to Cox. Checking in for Tampa is Gary. Gary has it. To Q. Again, Q, 86 goals last year. There's a shot, and it's deflected by Flock.
That was a good save. He got in the slot there about the 15-yard mark and had his hands free for a lefty shot. It was a great save by Flock.
Outside with it, Van Horn trying to get away from Abramson. Give to Cox, trying to power his way in. Goes back behind the net to Puglis. Puglis now backing up against the long stick of 22. That's Welsh. There's a shot. Deflected. Nice save by Flock. And it goes to Abramson. It's loose. And picked back up by Tampa as Abramson not able to control it. Here comes Robideau. Robideau with a shot in the goal. So Luke Robideau ties the game. I think this one's going to count, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It had a great stop. He had pushing the ball in transition. He just didn't make the catch, and going back the other way. That's a tough one right there. Hopefully they can clean that up as the game goes on, but that's an unfortunate one. Having a break going the other way and then not connecting on the passes, and the long pole picking up in the middle field and going right down to the throat on you.
Well, I'll tell you, this Tampa roster is big. I'm looking for Robideau's name. Jerry Durney, the public address announcer, is going to bail me out. That's Robideau's first goal of the year.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of men on here. I see a lot of numbers, different sets, and they're going to wear you down with their bench.
I mean, their roster is a mile long. And, in fact, they have a JV team. Can you imagine that? A JV lacrosse team. So, a lot of depth in the program.
A lot of players to choose from. A great ground ball. I think the face-off battle is pretty much about even, so we got to be happy with that.
So, again, we're tied at 1. We're more than midway through this second quarter. So, again, Ostrowski scored for Florida Tech in the first quarter, and Robideau ties it up for the Spartans. Here comes Chaconis. There's a pass. There's a shot in the goal. Florida Tech gets it right back, and it's Taji Mobley scoring, and the Panthers score about 20 seconds later, and they take a 2-1 lead.
That's a great way to answer. Quick score on Tampa's part. Come right back to win the faceoff, get a ground ball, get a quality shot about the 8-yard mark inside, and finishing it. So, again, here's the key to the game right here is ground balls, and faceoff. So we'll see who statistically wins that battle.
That looks like 6:02 on the clock, if I'm reading that right.
I think you are.
So that would be 32 seconds after the Robideau goal, and Tampa tied it up very briefly. Florida Tech back out on top, so 2-1. So when we had the 1 goal in the first quarter and then going midway through the second, now we got 2 goals in 34 seconds. So Lance Pavlina with the draw for Florida Tech. And that should be Ross Dickerson. He was second in the conference coming in, 76%, and he wins this one. He is awfully good. Oh, the ball loose, but picked up by Florida Tech. So technically he might have won it, but Florida Tech has the ball.
Yeah, it's about possession, 9/10 of the law, and you can win the draw, but whoever ends up with that ball from wing play. So quality ground ball right there.
So Florida Tech up 2-1 behind the net. It's Palmisano. Over the side, Sweeney. Sweeney being defended nicely by Bombard. Drop it off to Chaconis. Again, Chaconis for the assist on that Mobley goal. There's a shot by Sweeney, but again, high and over the net.
A shot like that is, hopefully keep the referees from putting the shot clock on you. It could be a nice possession shot, good backup. So, again, reset and go back after them.
So, again, shot clock is not going right now. But, again, the official can do it at his discretion. All right, here's Ostrowski to Mobley. Loose ball and picked up by the Spartans by Bombard, and he hands it off to Borowski.
Again, an unforced error for Tech, just sloppy passing and catching, and that can catch up in a game like this because every possession, like you said, is going to be at a premium.
All right, here come the Spartans. They're looking for the equalizer. Howard hacking away at Lucchese. Goes back behind the net to Wright. Wright. He's being watched by Cribben. Over the side, Vetter. Vetter last year, 22 goals and 10 assists for the Spartans. Again, they scored a lot of goals last year. Again, 86 by Q. Out on top, Hanlon. Hanlon goes over to McGraw. Weinstein giving him a lot of room, now closes in. McGraw gets a pick from Q, and there's a shot and a save by Flock. So Flock has had a couple of tough shots and made the save.
Yeah, I think by not switching it on those picks, it's screwing up Tampa a little bit. The Tech has decided to go under and have everybody stay with their men. So it's an interesting concept, and it's working well for them right now.
Again, Flock, the junior out of Ellicott City, Maryland. Boy, I'll tell you, it's really great that Coach McAlevey has him back for another year. He is one of the top goalies around. All right, here's Clough trying to work it in. There's a pass. There's another pass. Shot goes wide. That was Palmisano with a shot.
Ooh.
And it'll be Tampa ball.
As an excuse me.
You okay, John?
I don't know.
Okay.
That wind's blowing hard. You got some dust coming at me.
Yeah. Here's Gary for Tampa. Again, Florida Tech up 2-1. Looks like we have about 3 minutes left in this first half.
That was an interesting call there. I thought the Tech player was closest to the ball when it went out, but the referee saw it otherwise, so gave the ball back to Tampa.
Yeah, again, the thing I got to remember about lacrosse, it's the player that's close to the ball, not who it went off of.
That's correct.
So, all right, here's Cox. Over to Gary, trying to make a move on Ostrowski. Back out with it, Van Horn. Comes back out to Gary, and actually that's Oblong, number 2, not Ostrowski. All right, sliding on the ground is Gary, but he gets up. Now to Gary. Actually, Van Horn. In fact, Gary goes out of the game. Van Horn has it. Coming in is McGraw. Again, we're down to about 2 minutes to go in this first half.
And the shot clock was just put on Tampa right there. The referees are forcing them to pick up the tempo and get the ball going at the cage here. Both teams have been issued a shot clock. So we're down to 12 seconds on this clock right now.
All right, with it is Hanlon. Hanlon to McGraw. So down to 7 seconds on that shot clock. Vetter trying to get it inside, and there's a goal. And let's see, the Florida Tech, it's waved off. Little selling job there, waving it off. Number 2 for Florida Tech saying, hey, no goal, and it was Oblong.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. I know 42 didn't have a stick in his hand, so I couldn't tell what happened there.
Yeah. And Oblong selling that to the official very well. So we go back to the other end. Tampa trying to work out of their own end. Abramson hacking away, but bringing it out is Posner. Again, Posner, the captain of this team. Nice sidestep there away from Ostrowski.
Really nice footwork there, but now both teams have one goal taken off the board, so we're even in that category.
So Florida Tech's still up 2-1. Here's Birch way outside. Well, I'll tell you, to hold Tampa to 1 goal, I'm probably going to jinx it now if you're Florida Tech, but Tampa with a good job holding Florida Tech to 2. So low-scoring game. I don't know if Florida Tech in their history has ever had a 2-1 score at the half, whether they're up or down.
Yeah, it's not the efficiency on the offense either side of the field was looking for, but I think you have to say the goalies are a large part of that, and the defenses both are playing really strong. So it's going to be interesting to see where teams go to find a break in these defenses. Try to find a matchup that they like, or try to find a scheme that they like.
And Tampa called the timeout. Again, their head coach is Coach Whipple, who's done a wonderful job with this program. I'm sure Coach McAlevey, and we'll keep it out here, I'm sure Coach McAlevey is glad that Whipple's son, Connor, finally graduated. He was quite a player. Connor
was a player and put a lot of points on the board, and actually I think was one of the players that helped put Tampa on the map here.
Coach Whipple, a Cortland State grad from 1976. That's where my brother went to school, Cortland State. My brother's 2 years younger than Whipple. My brother was 78, Whipple 76. But he won a national championship with Cortland State Division II in 75. So his junior year, won the title, helped his team to the title.
Yeah, I know Coach Whipple well. I'm a Cortland State 85, 86 guy. And,
you are?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Huh?
Coach Whipple recruited me out of high school when he was coaching at Clarkson up in Potsdam, New York. So
my brother lived in Randall Hall freshman year. I don't know if you remember Randall Hall.
I do. I was Hayes Hall guy.
Oh, Hayes Hall? Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful campus up there. I went up there for a Jets training camp in the summer. I was on summer vacation, and that was a great time.
It's a wonderful campus. A real strong lacrosse history. A lot of coaches. Dave Urich is a coach there. Tony Seaman. Jack Emmer, the head coach at Army, was coaching there.
So part of the SUNY system with Binghamton and Albany and Oneonta, and goes on and on. Oswego,
Plattsburgh, Potsdam,
Fredonia, and go on and on talking about Cortland. So
Bill Tierney, the head coach at Denver, is a Cortland grad also. So it goes on and on and on. Actually, Paul Sissio, the referee out here, is a Cortland grad.
Oh man, we're giving Cortland a lot of love. Okay, down to the last 15 seconds or so. So Tampa holding for a shot here. And we got a penalty flag. So this will be a delayed penalty against Florida Tech, which will no doubtly carry over to the third quarter. Down to about 4 seconds.
Got to shoot it. You got to shoot it. You got to shoot it.
And that's going to be it. I wonder how well the coaches can see the clock, because, again, the sun kind of gets into the clock and it's hard to see. So Tampa kind of lost awareness of how much time was left. Boy, I'll tell you, you call a timeout in the last 20 seconds, you got to be aware of the clock.
Well, you got to be aware of the clock, but then the flag was down, and I think what the coaching staff is arguing, it's if you shoot the ball in that situation, you're going to retain possession if you back it up because the clock runs out, the penalty is administered, it's ball in hand, so you start the third quarter with the ball and no face-off. So I think one coach was saying hold it, the other coach was saying shoot it.
What's the better philosophy? Should you shoot or should you hold it, you think?
In that situation, you shoot it, you can't get hurt that way. Unless you don't back it up. I guess that's the only way you get hurt there. But if you back it up, you get a shot off, you have a chance of the ball going in, and then you retain possession. Starting the third quarter, ball in hand, no face.
Well, again, Tampa has to be in shock. I mean, they are 20-0 all time in the Sunshine State Conference. I've got to believe they've never been held to 1 goal and a half. If they have, I'd be shocked.
I would dare say that this is a first, and I think it's a time to kind of relay that to they're going to score a few more goals, so Tech can't get down when that happens. I'd be hard-pressed to think this Tampa team is only going to score 1 goal in 4 quarters.
Now, of course, the good news for Tampa, they only allowed 2 goals,
right.
So it's only 2-1. Hopefully we'll get some halftime stats and analyze those. But, again, big conference game because, of course, the conference is getting bigger. You got Embry-Riddle and Palm Beach Atlantic coming in. And so, I mean, there'll be a little more leeway with the games because you don't have you have a few more. Yeah, so you maybe afford 1 or 2 losses and still win the conference.
Well, you're seeing a lot of parity in lacrosse these days, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Colorado Mesa team who beat Tampa then lost to Palm Beach Atlantic.
They did.
Oh, they did. Yeah, and they didn't have a really good Florida swing. So the Florida teams are coming up. I think there's a lot of parity in the league. So there's no gimmies anymore. I don't believe.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, it's interesting. I was looking back on Tampa. If there's an Achilles heel for Tampa, and there aren't many, I mean, they haven't won a national championship yet, but they have lost to Limestone the last 3 times, 12-10. 3 consecutive 12-10 losses, and some of the other games, I think one other game was like 13-10. So, I mean, and Limestone won the national championship again. They've won 3 out of the last 4. So for Tampa, boy, they're trying to get over that hurdle. If they get to the postseason, they want to say, hey, we want another shot at Limestone.
Yeah, that's more of a mental hurdle. Physically and skill set wise, you're right there. Now mentally, you've got to convince yourself you can get past them.
And again, Florida Tech, their hurdle is trying to beat Tampa for the first time. They've come relatively close in their history, but Tampa just manages to eke out the wins. So, So anyway, 2-1 Florida Tech. I don't think the final score is going to be 2-1. I think we'll have some more goals in the second half. I want to thank some more of our sponsors: Bisque Education, Carrabba's Italian Grill, also Frogbones Family Shooting Center, Health First, and Jersey Mike Subs. A reminder: Florida Tech's going to be back out here on Saturday, a noon game against Mount Olive, and Mount Olive usually pretty good. I mean,
I think
much about them?
I don't know a lot about them. Looking at their record, I think they're right there in the hunt. They have a good season going, and they're playing people pretty strong.
I know they've always had a good baseball program. I'm not sure about lacrosse, but so that'll be another tough matchup for Florida Tech. Again, 12 noon on Saturday. Tampa's going to play Embry-Riddle in about 8 days over in Daytona Beach. So, again, Sunshine State Conference play underway in men's lacrosse. The women, they're going to have a big game against Florida Southern 4 o'clock on Saturday. So I've got a big day Saturday, noon lacrosse for the men. And then I got to go about a mile down the road and talk about the women's game. So
sounds like a perfect Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a lacrosse Saturday for me, no doubt about it. So again, Florida Tech coming in with a record of 2-4. Again, coming off the big win over Morris Hill last week, 17-7. Again, Tampa, they defeated a good Lindenwood team, 12-6. That was at home just recently. Again, Tampa, the number 5 team in the country. Florida Tech, of course, is unranked. Again, these two clubs met last year. Again, Tampa winning both, but Florida Tech certainly was in the game. 15-10 in the regular season, Tampa won it, and they won the tournament championship game over the Panthers 12-8. In fact, the big difference in the 15-10 loss by Florida Tech was they fell behind 7-1 in the first quarter. After that, they pretty much played Tampa even. So, I mean, you can't afford that bad quarter against Tampa. I mean, they were down 7-1 and ended up 15-10. You take away the first quarter, Florida Tech might have won that game.
Yeah, no, I think right now where the score is at, this thing could end up under in single digits. So every possession, every ground ball, everything's gonna be key here. I think time and possession is going to be another key factor here, because I don't think this is going to get up to a 15-14 kind of game here. I think we're looking at
probably single digits.
Yeah,
for both.
I think we're looking at a 9-7, or a tight one, or 10-7, something like that. But I don't think we're going to get that high, because both these defenses are playing well and both these goalies are seeing the ball well. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
On that 15-10 loss by Florida Tech last year, Chaconis and Sweeney had 2 goals apiece. Clough had a goal and 3 assists. Flock had 10 saves and goal. And Connor Whipple, who again finally graduated, I'm sure Ryan McAlevey is happy that Whipple's gone again. His dad is the head coach, but Whipple had a hat trick, and McGraw had a hat trick, and Q had a hat trick in that game, again 15-10, and then 12-8 in the tournament championship. Vetter had a big game, 3 goals for Tampa, and for Florida Tech, Flock had 7 saves, and really nobody shining. Clough had 2 goals for Florida Tech in that game. So, again, who knows? I mean, these 2 clubs could meet again, because they've met twice in the season, 2 different times. But the rest of the conference, I mean, Rollins, they're pretty good. In fact, in that poll, Tampa number 5, Limestone 9. You got St. Leo at number 10. Boy, how about Lynn? They've really taken off. They're younger than Florida Tech. Florida Tech beat them decisively their first ever matchup, and boy, Lynn's gotten dramatically better.
They're doing a nice job getting kids in, recruiting, and getting I think that coach has been there 3 or 4 years now, so he has a full complement of his players and playing the way he wants them to play. So it looks like that's paying off for him.
So you talk about tough games for Florida Tech. I mean, St. Leo and Lynn, that'll be a good test, and of course Rollins, that's a rivalry game. So once Florida Tech gets into the conference, every game's going to be a meat grinder. It's just going to be tough.
I think that's the beauty of this league. It's a lot of parity, a lot of good lacrosse going on. So it's a big toss-up. I think Tampa has been the guy that's everybody's trying to kind of run after, and I think they're slowly catching up to him a little bit here.
Yeah. We're moments away from the second half. Again, a beautiful day for lacrosse. Sunny, clear, blue skies. The wind is getting a little bit annoying out here for all of us trying to broadcast here. Wind blowing probably about 15, 20 miles per hour in gusts. As again, we've had a little bit of erratic weather lately here in March. Had some rain yesterday when I was doing softball, and today, I mean, no sign of rain, but just a lot of wind. So, I mean, that affects the shots, doesn't it? The wind, you think, or not?
I don't think it affects the shot as much. It affects those long passes, side-to-side passes, the long clearing passes.
How about the long looping passes?
Yeah, the long looping pass. Yeah. The wind will play on that a little bit, but for the most part, it's the players are down a little lower. They got little trees and a fence is buffering them a little bit. I don't think they're feeling it as much as we are up here. But did you get softball in yesterday with the
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Last couple of innings were interesting. I mean, the weather front was definitely coming in, and fortunately, Florida Tech ended the game with a double play. We were in the field, had a double play, and the game was over, and we were all relieved because we didn't want a weather delay like in the 6th inning. It's like, we might have to stay out there for an hour or so.
Yeah, that storm was circling around.
Oh, yeah, that storm was really something. Fortunately, no real tornadic activity. I think there was a watch, but not a warning, so we lucked out there. But today it's absolutely beautiful. Again, this is March 21st, so 10 more days in March, and then we head right into April. So, again, both teams warming up. Again, I want to thank some more of our sponsors. I want to thank Kiwi Tennis Club, also Marco's Pizza. Again, Matt's Casbah, Meg O'Malley's, the Orlando Melbourne International Airport, National Manager Resources, Old School Pizza, and Southern Janitor Supply as the Panthers emerge from the locker room, from the Anthony J. Catanese Varsity Training Center. Of course, Dr. Catanese, certainly a great big sports fan who really got a lot of sports on the map for Florida Tech during his tenure here. And lacrosse, one of them, of course, one of the proponents of getting a football team on campus. And, of course, this is the practice football field for Panther football. Their spring game is coming up in 10 days. So got a lot of stuff going on out here. Baseball, softball, 2 lacrosse teams.
No flies on you for sure. There's a lot going on this spring, and it's a nice little complex. And I think I prefer to be over here, and not at the Palm Beach High School. I think anytime you get,
it's got kind of a cozy look here. I mean, you know, the Palm Bay Magnet High School, Florida Tech Panther Stadium. That's a wonderful facility, especially for a high school. I mean, that's Palm Bay High, but this has a coziness to it. And, a little closeness. The fans are closer, so.
Fans are closer, and the student body is able to walk over here and see what's going on. So
instead of taking the shuttle.
Yeah.
I mean, the shuttle's real good, but you got to grab the shuttle unless you want to walk the mile down the road. So.
Yeah, no, I think this is a nice little setup, and I think it's very much a home field advantage. I think Tampa's used to playing in stadiums, so sometimes they come into a facility like this, they don't give it its due respect, and I think that could be happening a little bit right now.
Well, again, Ryan McAlevey in his 7th year, so it took the better part of 6 years to figure out, we really should be playing on campus. And, Coach McAlevey, Coach Engelhardt of football have a nice relationship. So we're going to get some stats here. So looking at the stats, Florida Tech 23-10 on shots.
Yeah, they're winning that battle. And ground ball battle is going Florida Tech's way. Face-offs,
pretty even.
Very even.
Of course, we haven't had any goals hardly, so not too many face-offs.
Clears are pretty good, and extra man. This is going to be a good test right here. Tampa's going to start with ball in hand in a man-up situation to start the third quarter. So, a stop here would be big.
So,
big.
23 Abramson is the guy going down to the kneel mode, going down on a knee. So, is this a 1 minute or penalty? I'm not sure.
I think he did give him a 1 minute penalty with a flash.
All right, so again, Tampa starting a man up here. Again, Florida Tech up 2-1. We're underway here in the second half. So Tampa moving it around. Comes out on top to McGraw. Now back by the net. It's Pugliese. Very patient here, Tampa. Van Horn.
Moving screen on Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Van Horn with a bullet. It was off goal, but the moving screen.
That was a big call. That's a silly mistake on Tampa's part. They had a nice rotation. They slid into a 14, and I think they were going to get a quality shot, but couldn't.
Well, Chaconis not able to catch that pass, but we got a loose ball. Who's going to pick it up? Hot potato, get the sour cream out. And Chaconis has it.
Big ground ball right there. Again, that's going to hopefully allow them to set up their offense and run some clock here. Don't make stupid mistakes. Good decision right there.
So Chaconis got it away from Robideau, and Robideau with a little bit of a check sends Chaconis to the ground, but no penalty.
Yeah, that could have been interference, but they're going to let that one slide. But
yeah, again, some of these penalties, John, in men's lacrosse, they really are like judgmental by the official, right?
Yeah.
It's like a matter of how much they're going to let go.
It truly is.
Yeah. All right, here's Mobley to Clough. Shot. Ooh. And went high.
You're not going to get too many better looks than that. You got to get that one on cage. That was a nice setup at about a 15-yard mark.
I would imagine that sidewinder shot is a little bit more difficult for goalies to pick up than the over shot.
It's a little bit more difficult for the goalies to pick up. It's a little bit more difficult for the offensive player to get on target too. I would like to see him drop his hands and then just come right over the top and give that ball an opportunity to go in and bury that thing low into the bottom third.
So you think over the top is better?
I think over the top is more accurate for sure.
All right, we got a penalty flag down, delayed penalty on Tampa, so
that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. The Tampa player ran through the pick, putting his hands up high on the pretty much a defenseless player. So that could be a little bit of frustration creeping in on Tampa right here.
So the penalty is over on Abramson. Now Tampa's going to go man down. Florida Tech with a man up.
Yep, good opportunity to get a quality look, run some clock off here, and actually retain possession if you don't come away with a quality shot or score. So I think again advantage Tech.
So Jake Posner out of Madisonville, Louisiana, is the culprit. So he will go down for a knee, and Florida Tech with another man up. They did have one man up goal in the win over Morris Hill last week. It was scored by Clough. But again, they're only converting 26%. Again, Mark Penn said, though, they're moving the ball around a lot better, and that's really all you can ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tampa extend here a little bit and try to put the pressure up. Oh, good
and
shot.
A goal. Well, you knew Logan Sweeney was going to get on the scoreboard. It's hard to keep him off. He scores, and Florida Tech, with their first 2-goal lead, it's 3-1.
And that's the shot we're talking about, a high over-the-top shot right to the bottom corner. And it's hard for the goalies to pick up here. So advantage again right there, Tech. Now we're back to all even in this face-off again. Ground balls and face-offs are going to be huge.
So Sweeney scores the goal. That's his 12th of the year, and I think there's going to be an assist. Let's see if we can pick it up here.
Sweeney, his 12th of the season, assisted by number 4, Mason Ostrowski.
Oh, Ostrowski's now got a goal and an assist.
Third period.
Great find right there.
So 3-1, Florida Tech. So again, Sweeney, assist, Ostrowski. So we're just a couple of minutes into this third quarter. Again, 15-minute quarters. Here's an outlet pass by Borowski to Posner. So again, Posner committed that penalty, and it hurt the Spartans, but he's back out. Posner trying to get away from Oblong. Now with it is Puglis.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Tampa settle things down. And again, they don't need to score a bunch here, but they need a quality look. They need to get a good shot on the cage. And again, they'll see if they're pressing a little bit. The passing and catching we'll tell here real quick.
Here's Vetter, another big-time goal scorer. He's been held scoreless today. And again, Tampa's got about 4 or 5 guys who are legitimate goal scorers. Again, 4 players in double figures in goals so far. Trying to get by Howard. There's a shot. That was by Vetter, and it went wide. But picked up by Q. Q way out in front. Nice pass. That was a long one. Here comes Vetter with a shot and a goal. So Vetter scores, and it's now 3-2 Florida Tech.
Yeah, Tech got caught a little bit scrambling, chasing a little bit behind, and left an uneven situation up top. They had the guys there, but he started chasing stick a little bit too much and didn't play body. So, again, a goalie can't make all those stops, and that was right on top of him. So, again, we're still 3-2. Again, face-offs here are going to be important. Wind is catching up.
My bag tipped over and all my papers
I think you got
out.
a good crowd down there helping you out, though.
Yeah. Again, gust of wind blowing up. Yeah.
Face-off won by Tampa, legal motion.
I'll let you take the play-by-play for a minute,
Not a
John.
problem. We had a legal motion.
I've got some important stuff I got to grab here. Again, the gust of wind. All right. Thank you.
It's windy up here. Things are moving around pretty good, but good stop there by Florida Tech. Tampa put 2 long poles on the face, trying to win that. We had a little bit of an illegal motion.
There's John the goal.
Score right there. That's a big-time play.
That is Luke Palmisano. Not a guy you think about to score goals, but he gets one here, and it's now 4-2 Florida Tech.
Yeah, the Tampa bench looks stunned. We got a lot of movement, a lot of guys standing around, a lot of guys pointing fingers, looking at each other. I think they have to maybe call a timeout here and rewrite the ship and get back on track. Again, they're only 2 down. That's a couple possessions away from tying this thing back up. So it's not time to panic, but maybe time for a little bit of concern. So
Palmisano, the freshman out of Catonsville, Maryland, scores his first goal of the year. And it's 4-2 Florida Tech. So the draw, again, Dickerson does not lose too many draws against 76% of the year, but he lost this one. It's Abramson to Land. And that was actually Land on the draw in place of Pavlina. Land shoots and it goes wide. Well, I'll tell you, Ryan Land, I noticed when he takes draws, he loves to run down the field and try and score.
Yeah, that was, they were allowing him to shoot, so the scouting report on him is allow him to go down because nobody slid to him. So,
and I'll tell you, the Panther bench goes crazy when Land gets going.
Yeah, so he had to go. That would have been a big time goal right there. But I think that stop is kind of showing the metal of Tampa here.
Here's Sweeney, who just scored a few moments ago. Sweeney trying to get a good look. Goes to Clough. Now behind the net, Ostrowski. Ostrowski with a goal and an assist so far. He's going one-on-one against Birch. There's a shot, and it's loose, and it's going to be picked up by Borowski.
I think he'd like to have that one back. He has a nice skip to the backside. Goalie wasn't looking, and he tried to go near side. I think he buried that one far side pipe, and that's a goal. But, again, he'd like to have that one back.
Here's Robideau. He has one of the Tampa goals being met by Mobley. And, boy, Borowski really flirting with fire here. Comes all the way out to midfield, the goalie. He's going to retreat. Now with it is Perry. Perry's still with it, bringing it out toward the middle of the field. He's going to hand it off to McGraw. Again, McGraw's second team All-Sunshine State Conference last year. He drops it to Vetter.
Yeah, I think you're going to look for Tampa to find the ISO that they want and go after that matchup.
There's a shot and a beautiful save by Flock. That was a bullet, and that was by Vetter.
Yeah, I think Tech's going to allow him to shoot from the plus 15 mark at this point in the game.
So Florida Tech up 4-2. Looks like we got about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here comes the pickup truck, Covey, formerly known as the dump truck. He lost some weight in the offseason.
The pickup truck, right?
Yeah, he's called the pickup truck now. So
hopefully he's a dually.
Hey, he looks good out there. So, again, Covey, a great passer, too. I love to watch him pass the ball. All right, comes outside. This is Justin Williams. Again, a very good freshman year for him. Outside with it, Sweeney. Covey sets a pick. Sweeney uses it, but good pick up here by Robideau. Behind the net. Now comes back out in front. Ostrowski to Mobley. Mobley being watched by McGraw. Mobley trying to make a move. Trying to look for somebody out in front. Again, Tampa clogging the area pretty well.
Tim did a nice job. They had a matchup with a short stick. The long stick slid to them. They got the good switch and right back to 6-on-6 where they want to be with their matchups.
Here's Mobley. Over to Covey.
Covey might have to be the X factor right here. He's going to draw the short stick.
There's a shot in the goal. Oh, the pickup truck does it. He accelerates on the gas. The pickup truck, Tyler Covey, scores. And Florida Tech with their first 3-goal lead of the day, 5-2.
Yeah, I think Tampa was pulling all the other players and leaving him outside, giving him no respect. And I think that's going to be a concern for Tampa to see now what are they going to send their poles after and what are they going to try to take away.
So Covey scores his second of the year. And Florida Tech up 5-2. Boy, the Tampa bench, the Tampa crowd just down to the left of us, they have to be stunned. I mean, they knew this was going to be a tough game. I mean, Florida Tech's very competitive and everything, but, boy, only 2 goals so far, and we're about midway through the third.
Yeah, I think they expected a battle, but anytime you go on the road and you're at somebody else's house, you've got to be ready to step up your play. And right now, Tampa hasn't answered, and they're a quality team. I expect them to make a run right here, but these little mistakes are not helping them.
Florida Tech trying to pick up the ball. Boy, both teams going at it like their life is on the line. We still don't know who has it. Looks like rugby out there. And let's see, Florida Tech picks it up, and they have it out in open space. Flock with it.
A great ground ball. Now let's see if they can do something with it.
Goes to Cribben, and now Flock, about 15 yards out of his net, finds Mobley at midfield.
Good decision right there. He had a player streaking, but it was a risky play. Right now, I think possession up 3 goals is better than score right now. So not to take your foot off the gas here, but I think everything has to be quality, and I think Coach would be happy for 1 to 2 minute offensive sets.
Well, again, you want to keep possession, get some shots off so that shot clock doesn't become a factor. Here's Mobley.
I think if you're Tech, I think you force them to put that shot clock on you. You're not going to try to hurry up too much.
All right, there's a turnover picked up by Posner, the captain, running past his fellow number 7, Chaconis. Posner trying to shoot, and did it go in?
Yeah, it did.
It's a goal. Okay.
It's a silly mistake. He was right on the guy's shoulder. He knew he had to come back inside to shoot that ball, and he went chasing stick over the head and gave him an opportunity to score.
So Luke Posner scores. Well, I got to go way down the roster here. That's actually his first goal of the year.
Is that his second today, or is that?
Or actually, you know what? It might be his second. Yeah, again.
Yeah. I think if you're Tech and you're the only 2 of the 3 goals are scored by long poles, you're in pretty good shape.
And again, I'm doing the best I can trying to keep track of the individual scoring with the wind up here. It's a little difficult, but I believe that's Posner's second. So it's 5-3, Florida Tech, and we got a turnover, Tampa ball. Got 6:23 to go in the third quarter. Let's see if that gets Tampa going. Florida Tech hopes that's not the case. Here's Andrew Q. Again, spelled K-E-W. Again, 86 goals last year. Team leader 21 this year, but does not have a goal yet today. Here's Gary. Gary over to Cox. And now Van Horn with it. Van Horn getting it back from Gary. So Tampa being very patient here in their offense, just working it around, looking for an opening. There's a pass behind the net, goes over the side to right, outside Gary. So they're using the entire field here. Here's Van Horn trying to penetrate, shut off by Abramson. He'll go back behind the net. With it is Q. Q trying to get out in front. There's a shot deflected by Flock and goes out of bounds. That was Hunter Van Horn with the shot.
Yeah, I think that went right off the crossbar. That was a high-quality, high-powered shot that got on Flock real quick, and I don't think he saw it. But, again, crossbar is crossbar. It's not a goal.
Van Horn out of Cary, North Carolina, which isn't very far from Raleigh. There's a shot, and it's deflected by Flock and goes out of bounds again.
Yeah, another pipe. But I think right now the numbers that Tampa is throwing at Tech could be starting to wear down Tech a little bit here.
Goes behind the net, out in front. There's a shot and a goal, and there'll be an assist on that play. That's Cox getting it from right.
Yeah, Tampa's throwing a lot of fresh legs at him right now, and that's going to, take its toll. So hopefully the offense can do their job, get this ground ball, and kind of work some possession here.
So Cox gets his 5th of the year, and the assist by Wright is his 4th of the year. So it's back to a 1-goal game. Florida Tech up 5-4 with 4:52 to go in the third. As the wind continues to play havoc with the players and the broadcasters.
Oh, movement on Tampa. Tech's ball.
Okay, Boyd Dickerson, he doesn't make too many mistakes, but did so there against Pavlina, and Florida Tech has the ball.
Yep.
So again, 5-4 Florida Tech. Again, about 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Oh, we expected a really close game. I don't know if we expected this low scoring, but I think we expected a close game, and we certainly have that right now. All right, here's Palmisano. He's got a goal today, trying to work his way in front. Good checking there by Birch.
Yeah, Birch is a pretty good defender. I'm not sure he's the one you want to go after. I think this matchup right here is going to be the key for either team. Whoever wins this pickup truck matchup, number 5 matchup for Tampa. I'm not sure who he is. I can't see the thing, but I think that's going to be a factor here.
Here's Colby with a pass. Sweeney couldn't catch it. It goes near the sideline for Tampa, and picking it up is Mobley.
That was a great look, great find. Too bad he couldn't connect on that because Sweeney was in the slot at about the 8-yard mark, right on top of the goalie. That was a good opportunity missed.
Now Sweeney will slow things up. Goes back behind the net to Ostrowski. Again, Ostrowski, a goal and an assist today. He's been very active. Ostrowski butting heads. Mobley to Kobe. Mobley sets a pick. Now Sweeney with a shot and a save, but there was a whistle beforehand, and this goes against Florida Tech.
Yeah, that's a moving screen, but I thought number 5 pushed the pickup truck right into that one, but I don't think the referee saw that, but I would kind of get in the ear of the referees and tell them to watch that.
And the pickup truck isn't easily pushed either.
No, but he had a lot of momentum moving in one direction, so it's hard for him to stop that.
So we're down to 3:05 to go in this third quarter. Tampa looking for the equalizer. So 2 unanswered goals by the Spartans as Florida Tech was up 5-2. Now it's 5-4.
Yeah, you don't want to come away empty if you're Tech. You want to get quality looks at the cage while you're burning some clock. So that one could hurt right there.
Here's Wright going against Cribben, trying to get out in front. Wright outside to Gary. Now Gary way out. And we got a penalty flag down to Tech. Van Horn with it. So delayed penalty on Florida Tech. Tampa trying to capitalize. Nice quick passing. Van Horn. He'll give it up. There's a shot. Deflected, and now the penalty be called. That was a shot by Q, and now the penalty will be assessed.
They're going to call interference. Both referees saw it. That's 2 experienced referees. The ball was away, and the defenseman took an extra little whack on the guys on the crease. So, it's a tough one. People would say that's ticky-tack, but both referees saw it.
So let's see who the penalty is on. Okay, it's going to be Thomas Cribben with the penalty, so Florida Tech will be a man down. Cribben is out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. So man up here for Tampa, looking for the equalizer. 2:05 to go. Florida Tech up 5-4. And the ball out of bounds. It's a break for Florida Tech. They'll have it.
Yeah, I think the ball never lies on that one. That's a questionable call, and turnover to me seems just. You hate to say when you're the underdog, you have to play the team and the refs on that one, but that
ball's loose, and here comes Flock way out of his net.
You might want to get a timeout here.
Wow.
You're going to get a delay game. I don't think you got it over yet.
Here's Clough up ahead. And here comes not Mobley. There's a shot in the goal. That's Justin Williams, the freshman.
I think that's a little soft spot on this goalie. High to low in that back corner is gone a couple times here, so that might be looking to shoot there.
So Williams scores his 8th, and Florida Tech has a 2-goal lead back. It is 6-4.
That's a great turnaround right there. They went from man down, stop, turnover, clear, unsettled goal. So those are good things pushing for Florida Tech's way.
So we're down to, looks like 1:36 to go. We can see that clock a little better. There's not as much sun on it. So let's see if Florida Tech can get out of the third quarter and maintain this 2-goal lead. Again, a big fourth quarter still coming up. Still 15 minutes left in the fourth when we get there.
Good ground ball right there. Settle down, make good decisions here. You might want to get a timeout, Coach. You got a long pull on a long pull.
Here's Abramson outside to Mobley. He loses it, comes back to midfield. Who's going to get it? The battle is on, and the ball out of bounds. It'll be Tampa ball.
It's tough. You want to keep your timeouts to that fourth quarter, but again, you're in a 2-goal game. Every possession is huge. So,
coming up on the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. Boy, Tampa, they would love to get a goal here, get it down to a 1-goal deficit.
They sure would, and I think Tech would be like to have a stop right here or a turnover in some fashion to control the end of the quarter, and that's kind of those little mental, moral victories if you can win the end of last 2 minutes of each quarter.
All right, here's Hanlon against Howard. Down to 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Hanlon going one-on-one against Howard, does a move. Back behind the net, now over to the side, it's Wright. Way out in front, Bradley. So Tampa doing the smart thing. They're holding for one here. They're whittling that clock down, looking for a good quality shot. So with it is McGraw. McGraw and Abramson eyeballing each other through those masks.
I would look for 42 to get the ball in his hand real quick here. You don't want to slide off him.
Down to 10 seconds. There's a shot and a goal. And that's 42. That's Andrew Q, the guy who scored 86 goals last year. You knew he wasn't going to stay quiet.
No, I think that was a mental mistake by the defense of Tech. You don't want to let that other person be. You don't want to slide off 42.
So Andrew Q scores his 22nd. And boy, if you're Florida Tech, you hate to give up that goal. 6.3 seconds to go in the quarter. That'll certainly give Tampa a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, you still have time to win the face and get one down either team. So this you're not out of this quarter yet.
So it's the battle of the 24s, and Dickerson wins it against Pavlina. There's a bounce shot saved by Flock, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Boy, Tampa almost got another one there.
Yeah, that's they got a little energy off that goal, and like I said, you have 6 seconds left. That's plenty of time to pop it out and take it down the throat. But again, we're Tech still up 6-5. Momentum is kind of switched back to Tampa maybe a little bit right here. So this is going to be an exciting fourth quarter, 6-5 ball game.
Okay, refresh my memory on the last Florida Tech goal. Were they a man down? There was a penalty, wasn't there? I thought we were a man short. But.
We were man down. They threw the ball away. We were clearing the ball man down. I think I
wonder if the penalty expired.
The penalty might have expired, but I think it was a great clear. We got the guy coming out of the box, and he had a free run to the cage. Now, I don't know if the penalty released during that time or not, so that technically could be an all-even goal, but it could be a man-down goal, too.
I'll tell you, in that third quarter, he had a little more scoring. It was 2-1 at the half, and now it's 6-5. So in that third quarter, let's see, it was 4-4. 4-4 in the third.
Yep. After
a 2-1 halftime. All right, let's thank some more of our sponsors. Again, we really appreciate these people helping out and keeping us on the air. National Manager Resources, Old School Pizza, Southern Janitor Supply, Space Coast Uniforms, and University Center Imaging. Well, John, if there's one area that Florida Tech has to shore up in here in the fourth quarter, is it one or two areas, or is there one that stands out that they have to try and stop?
I think if they're defensively, I think you got a key on 42. Maybe you want to shut him off, take him out of the equation, or not slide off him defensively and let the other guys on that team beat you if they will. Other thing on the offensive side for Florida Tech, I think every possession you want good looks. You don't want these unforced errors, the turnovers on the A to B passing, the wards, the moving screens. None of that can happen, and you got to win the ground ball battle. So those three things I would be looking at Florida Tech. If they can do them well, things will be pretty positive.
And I think in conjunction, you want the good looks and the quality shots. Sometimes the quality shots haven't been there today.
No, so. and they've had their opportunities, and when you get your opportunities, you have to score on those opportunities and take advantage of them because they're not going to come. Like I said, we might be looking at 2, 3, 4 goals more scored for each team.
Well, once again, it was the battle of the 24s, Pavlina and Dickerson on the draw. I still don't see who has the ball. It's a battle, and what do we got? I'll tell you, their bodies going down on the ground and everything. Boy, what a game.
I don't know. Coach Whipple's pretty hot over there. He's out on the field contesting that call. I'm not sure what it was. Looked like he was trying to get a push. But the far referee called it, so hopefully things. But he's still John. He's still maybe exchanging.
And again, Coach Whipple in his seventh year, and what a job he's done with this program. They are the powerhouse in men's lacrosse. Florida Tech trying to seize some of that today. All right, here's Vetter. So again, it is 6-5 Florida Tech. Tampa looking for the equalizer again. Here's Q, goes side of the net. Trying to chase up and get up to it is Pugliese. Does a 360 spin, goes down, and let's see what we have. Florida Tech ball. So Flock will engineer the outlet pass, and it comes up to Howard. Howard has a lot of space here. Here comes Nathan Howard. Boy, he's a big guy.
He's a big guy, moves well. I think right now, if you're Tech, you want to push things. If you don't have numbers, pull it out. If you do create a situation, get a run at the cage. Again, you don't want to take too much air out of this ball, but you want to make sure everything's buttoned up tight here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for Florida Tech, boy, keeping possession is going to be so important here. I mean, the shot clock might be enacted, but you just don't want to give Tampa too many opportunities.
Yeah, they got to get their long pole off the field here, and that's going to present an opportunity, hopefully, to get the ball coming from the top on a good dodge if they decided not to go after it. So, I don't think they want to go after number 3. I think, again, this number 5 matchups, it could be where I want to go. Right here is a good matchup. I think they get the ball back to here, and they'll look to go at that.
Here's Mobley. Boy, he is not very tall at all, but what a player. There's a 360 spin trying to work against Birch.
I think I'd get the ball back here to Tech's number 3 and work this matchup right here.
Well, against Sweeney, one of the big goal scorers for the Panthers. Passed it to Chaconis.
Got one more.
Reed trying to get a shot off. He does, and boy, that's a bullet, and it was steered over the net nicely by Borowski.
Yeah, I think one more pass would have freed up and got a little better quality shot. But again, a shot and retained possession, so all's good.
All right, there's Palmisano, who scored his first goal of the year earlier. Palmisano working against Perry. Comes out on top. There's Clough with a shot. I think that might have hit the pole or the post.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Still a shot, I think. Still a shot.
Florida Tech trying to save it, and they do. It's Mobley.
That'd have been an interesting call because it was still a shot, but the Tech guy hit it off his stick, so we didn't have to worry about that one. So ball did not go out. Here's Chaconis reorganizing the offense. Gets a pick from Clough. There's a shot, and it goes wide. Might have been deflected. That was a great save. Now the goalie got on that one. Good. Oh, we got numbers here for Tampa's way.
Here comes 31. That's Podlovitz. Loose ball. Welsh battling for the ball for Florida Tech, and it's Clough picking it up. He's getting hacked at by Pugliese. And Florida Tech trying to get out of their own end. Here comes Clough. Clough working it up over the midfield line, shadowed by Pugliese.
He's off now. He might as well go.
And now we got a penalty flag down, delayed penalty on Tampa. So Florida Tech looking to keep the ball, maybe get a goal out of this, but they know worst off, they'll be a man up. There's a shot. I think that hit the post.
Yeah, I don't like the quick shot there. I would have liked the burn. You got ball in hand. You got a flag now. I think I would have taken a little bit more time off the clock.
Slow to get up was Pugliese. He finally got up. And let's see what the penalty is.
He's offsides here.
19, James Pugliese. 30 seconds for offside.
Okay, 30 seconds offside, Pugliese. All right. So Florida Tech will be a man up. It's only a 30-second one, though. So they got to try and work pretty quickly here.
Yeah, sophomore out of St. Anthony's High School on the island, so that's a quality program.
Chaconis with the pass behind the net. Ostrowski now out to Covey. Quick passing here by Florida Tech. Trying to get a good look. Here's Clough. Back behind the net. Ostrowski gets it back. Covey. There's a pass. Shot by Sweeney, and that, I guess, hit the post.
That sure did.
Boy, did that ever hit the post. It bounced all the way about 70 yards up the field.
Oh, that's unfortunate right there.
And here comes Tampa with some numbers. Oh, there's a penalty. Boy, that was an assault. There's a shot. Goes wide, and so we're going to be back even up. The Pugliese penalty was probably expiring anyway, so now it's going to be a man up for Tampa.
Yeah, that's how the game of inches. You hit a crossbar right there on a quality shot. The ball bounces 80 yards down the field. You get a free run at the goalie. Great job for the defense to coming in. And you know what? Yeah, I kind of like that penalty right there.
That might be a minute for mugging.
Yeah,
is there a mugging penalty? Because, boy, he just got assaulted on that.
Yeah, I think on the street you might do time for that. But you know what? They were sticking up for their goalie, and they're not going to let anybody take free runs at their goalie. So you know what? I like it.
Well, I'll tell you, they're calling that a pushing penalty. Man, that was an assault.
They got their money's worth on that push. That's for sure.
That was a push to an extreme. All right, so Tampa, man up, looking for the equalizer. Florida Tech up 6-5, 10:32 to go. Boy, this one could go down the wire. Could go to overtime. Of course, we'd have sudden death overtime if we're tied at the end of regulation. Here's Vetter. Vetter to McGraw. McGraw also dangerous along with Q and goal scoring. To Wright, out in front, ball loose, trying to pick it up. Wright, he has it. Now gets it to 45, that's Lambert. Out in front, Hess. To McGraw, back to Hess. Shot goes wide, and let's see who has it. Oh, Tampa will maintain it.
Yeah, they're saying Tampa got a stick, or Tech got a stick on that. Quick restart, you got to be ready for this.
Vetter against Howard. Howard gives us his face.
Hopefully we're back to all even here.
Looks like we are. I don't see anybody kneeling, so I think we're back to full strength.
All right, that was a good stop for the man down. So let's see if we can get another one here and get possession of the ball.
Here's Vetter trying to make a spin move against Howard. There's a shot and a save by Flock. Boy, he went down low and he got it.
Yeah, that was not the greatest of shots by Tampa. It was a good shot, but I think Coach Whipple would have liked to see a little bit different shot selection on that one.
Now Florida Tech, boy, you want to maintain possession, maybe get some good quality shots here. We got 9:15 to go, and you're up 6-5 here in the fourth quarter. Here's Clough trying to run past Pavlovitz. Clough with a shot and a high save. Beautifully done by Borowski.
Yeah, Borowski baited him to go high, and Clough went for it, and he popped right up and stole that. Again, I hate to say it, but I think right now for Tech, possession is a little key, and maybe not the best.
You
shot
want to take smart shots.
Yeah, that's not a horrible shot, but just you got to understand the game and time, and maybe they could have worked the clock to get another shot. So not always the first shot, but you want to get the best shot.
All right, here's Cox way out in front to Van Horn. Van Horn gets it back from his teammate Gary. Now Gary with it, going one-on-one against Williams. Slows up the tempo a little bit. Gary looking to make a move. Now he'll circle back out on top. Throw it across the field to Cox. Welsh is out on Cox. Now over to Gary. And now Van Horn with it. Van Horn getting checked by Abramson. There's a pick by Gary. Still with it, Van Horn. Out on top, Gary. There's a shot. Flock with a save. Going out into the mess. The net is open. And fortunately, it's going to go out of bounds. Boy, Florida Tech, a big break there. It's going to stay with Tampa.
That was fortunate. It's an interesting concept. Tampa has decided to go 4 up top and play them, and then leaving their 2 attackmen behind, basically going 4-on-4.
So Florida Tech a little bit back on their heels here. Here's Gary out on top, left side Van Horn. Van Horn is eyeballing 15. That's Williams.
So now 42. I think 42 is the guy, he's obviously...
that's Q, yeah.
No secret. He's going to be the guy, the go-to guy.
There's a shot, a save by Flock. Who has the rebound? Oh, Florida Tech has it. And Fort Oddle has it. My favorite name. So Justin gives it up to Flock. I think I'll just call him Justin. Fornadel. Actually, it's Nick Fornadel. My apologies. All right, loose ball picked up by the Spartans.
Yeah, the failed clear right there. It's, again, one of those unforced errors. I don't think Tech can afford too many of those, if any.
Here's Wright out on top as Tampa changes their personnel. This is Mosher McGraw. He's going to flip it to Vetter. 6:35 to go. Can Florida Tech hold on? Can Florida Tech get an insurance goal here and make it a little less of a heart attack for Coach McAlevey? Or will it be one goal down to the end? Here's Vetter. Vetter one-on-one against Chaconis. Goes back behind the net, high pass, but reeled in by Q.
Yeah, I think as an athlete, you kind of like these games because, you want to be that guy. You want to, test yourself. You want to feel uncomfortable and see how your body and your mind responds to that. So I think, this is a good opportunity for both these teams. And there's a turnover again.
Ball's loose. Boy, terrible turnover by Tampa. They were working the ball around. The ball got loose.
Very, very bad turnover right there. So, again, both have 2 turnovers that weren't very good. So back to even here. On that bad turnover statistic, we got a whistle. We got a timeout. Okay.
Yeah, timeout. Florida Tech, probably a good timeout right in front of their own bench, and Coach McAlevy's going to make some subtle adjustments here. So, boy, 5:52 to go in the game. Florida Tech 6, Tampa 5, and no doubt for Florida Tech. I mean, this is their 7th year of existence. This would certainly be the biggest win in their history. Although, they've never made the playoffs, so. This would have to be it. I mean, beating this Tampa team would just be quite an accomplishment, but still 5:52 to go, trying to hang on. So, again, timeout by Florida Tech. Let's thank our sponsors, Red Ginger, Marriott Courtyard Residence Inn, the Hilton Rialto, the Hilton Doubletree, and the Duran Golf Club. So pretty much the same strategy for Florida Tech as far as trying to hold on here? You mentioned a few things.
I think this timeout, if a coach wanted to talk to him a little bit, they might have thought they were getting a little nervous, a little unrattled. Again, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 goal game here. So now Coach Mack's got 1 timeout on his pocket. Hopefully this will come out of here with a good set play. Maybe take some time off the clock and get a quality look here.
Again, you got Q with 22 goals. He's got 1 today. You got McGraw, who came in with 17. Wright, I don't think has scored today. He's got 19, and then Vetter's got 12. So I mean, you got 4 guys, but I mean, Q is probably the guy you do want to key on because again, he had 85 last year. Again, that's number 42. So
yeah, like I said, if they get one here, I wouldn't be too shocked if Tech threw a short stick on him and tried to shut him off.
All right, so Florida Tech will have the possession. 5:50 to go. That's going to be the longest 5:50 in Ryan McAlevy's life. Boy, it'd be so big if Florida Tech could at least get an insurance goal here. Not that it would be over, but just a little bit of breathing room. So Panthers here with some pretty good quality passing, being very patient. Chaconis has it. He comes all the way out to midfield.
Yeah, and Tampa's stepping out with him. They're not going to give him too much room and space. They're going to kind of make them do things under pressure.
And Chaconis with a shot, and boy, a save by Borowski. That ball kind of settled right down next to him, and he picked it up. That almost got by him.
Again, it's a good shot, but it's probably not the best shot they could have gotten in that situation. So ball's back into good Lord.
Penalty flag, delay penalty, Florida Tech.
Ooh.
Somebody was checking on Birch a little bit too hard. Boy, Birch has good speed, number 3.
Yeah, that's
Puglisi with it behind the net.
Interesting call. I didn't really see what happened there.
So again, delay penalty. I mean, Tampa, the worst they can get out of this is be a man up, but they're going to keep the possession, try and score here. There's a shot, goes wide, and now the penalty will be assessed. So Tampa will go a man up with 4:38 to go and looking to tie things up. And let's see who the penalty's on. Might be Ostrowski. Let's see if he goes down to the knee. Yeah, it's going to be Mason Ostrowski. I think that's his 2nd penalty of the game. So
I didn't see it, so I can't really speak to what happened there.
Okay, 30 seconds offside, Ostrowski. So,
okay, there you go.
Well, fortunately for Florida Tech, I'll tell you, if you have to give up a penalty, better to give it the 30 seconds than a minute.
Yeah, but again, a mental error right there. They just can't afford for those against a team like this. So
Coach McAlevey really wants to see this 30 seconds go by. Florida Tech setting up defensively. Tampa working it around with it. Is Q, goes back behind the net. Now outside to Q. Now with it, Van Horn, down to about 20 seconds to go, and the man up for Tampa. Wright gives it up. Van Horn. Good quick passing here. McGraw. Out in front, Vetter. And what do we have? Is it a timeout, Tampa?
Ooh, that's a risky timeout right there.
It is a timeout then.
I don't think Coach Whipple liked what he saw right there, but I don't know how much time he's got left in this man-up situation.
Probably 5 or 10 seconds. Again, I'll tell you, that clock is looking good. 4:10 to go. No sun in it.
Yeah, you would hope. Maybe Coach Whipple saw something he wants to go after, but he hopefully he knows what he's doing right here because that's a short time to get something off in a man-up situation. So you've really got plus 3 or 4 seconds before the player gets into the defensive zone once he's released. So if he's got 10, he's got 15 seconds to go work his 6-on-5.
Well, I'll tell you, it'd be interesting to look at the Tampa records and see if they've ever come close to scoring only 5 goals in an entire game. And, of course, we still have, 4:10 to go, but not something that Coach Whipple's been used to in his 7 years at the helm. And, of course, Coach McAlevey, Florida Tech's only scored 6, but will it be enough?
Yeah, I'd like to see how much time we got left. And 44 is going to release from here from the midfield for Tech. So
I got to believe it's under 10 seconds. Can't be much left.
I don't know what time the foul was at.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well, we'll keep an eye on Ostrowski. He's going to go down to the knee, I assume, here. So Tampa will start out on top, about 20 yards in front of the goal. With it is McGraw.
Now that's
goes to Q.
Didn't have a lot of time in that.
So full strength, Florida Tech. Ostrowski is out.
Yeah, I don't like that timeout by Tampa. Didn't give you a lot of opportunity to do much.
Here's Wright trying to get out in front. Defending is Filipau. Out to the side, Puglisi working against Abramson. Abramson giving a few checks.
That's good defense right there. He held his ground and turned him away from a goal, didn't let him attack there. So I think that matchup is going Tech's way.
Here comes a double team. Howard and Fornadal. Shot goes deflected by Flock, but picked up by Tampa, still in play.
That was a good double, but risky too. If you don't get it, you leave yourself in a man down on the backside.
3:15 to go as Philippou is defending against McGraw. There's a shot and saved by Flock. Abramson picks it up. Abramson trying to navigate his way to the other end, and now he's got some room.
Somebody come help him right here. Come help.
So Abramson with it. Drops it back to Clough.
That was a great stop right there, big time stop. Now you're under 3 minutes. It's ball game time right now. Every decision, everything's going to be have to be top notch by both teams.
Boy, can you wonder? Can Florida Tech hold on to the ball for this last 2:36?
Yeah, you got to have the mentality you're playing to win, not playing not to lose.
Easier said than done, you know.
Sure is in this situation.
I mean, Florida Tech, if you're going to take a shot here, it's got to be a point-blank shot with a clear view.
Yeah, I would make them put the shot clock on me here. You know, if you're going to pull the trigger, you better be.
Well, I bet the officials thinking about that right now. With the circumstances, there's a shot by Sweeney and a save by Borowski. Not a bad shot.
Not a bad shot. He just didn't get it off like he wanted it to. Good defense. So here we go.
All right, here comes Luke Posner. He is the captain of the team. Not a bad guy for Tampa to have the ball, but it's knocked away. Sweeney knocked it away. Now it's loose. Who's going to pick it up? Hot potato. Get the sour cream out. And still loose. And picked up by Fornadal. Up to Caribbean. 1:43 to go. Florida Tech has the possession.
They got numbers. Will they push it?
There's a shot to goal. Florida Tech with a huge insurance goal. 1:38 to go. And, boy, Luke Palmisano, he did not have a goal all year, and he has scored 2 today. I don't want to call it the clincher yet, but Florida Tech up by 2, 7-5.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. He's your captain with the ball, and Coach Whipple might have wanted to call a timeout right there, but he had already burned one. But you can't take them with you. Possession, you need a ball right there, and a great scoring opportunity. They had 3-on-2, and they pushed it. And again, that's a little bit of breathing room, but this face-off right here is key.
So Mason Ostrowski picks up his second assist. He's got a goal as well on the Palmisano goal. 1:38 to go. This is a huge face-off for Tampa. They really need to win this. And again, Dickerson second in the conference, coming in at 76%. If he lives up to that standards, Tampa has a chance. But it's picked up, well, I thought by Pavlina. Now it's loose again. Boy, everybody diving on each other. And Tampa's got it. So this is not over yet.
Yeah, I would have liked to see our face-off guy kind of pick that ball up. He tried to scoot it out, and you need possession.
And what, do we got, a timeout?
Yeah, Coach Whipple called timeout here. He's out of timeout, so he can't bail his team out. So
how many do you get?
You get 2.
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2. So
2 per half?
I could be wrong, but I think he only got 2, and he's used both.
Boy, you really have to utilize those effectively.
You do have to utilize them wisely. Yeah. If he has another one, I'm not sure, but I could be wrong.
Well, Florida Tech is 1 minute and 20 seconds away from certainly picking up the biggest win in program history. Again, Tampa has been the top dog ever since this conference got started. I mean, you might remember Florida Tech was in the Deep South Conference, and that's actually where Tampa started off. And then we got enough Sunshine State Conference schools to adopt men's lacrosse. I mean, there's still a few that don't have it. But again, Embry-Riddle and Palm Beach Atlantic come in. Of course, you got Rollins, St. Leo, Florida Southern. You got these 2 teams. So, but again, nobody has been able to beat Tampa until possibly today. But we got 1:20 to go.
Long way to go. A lot of ball game to be played here. Again, Tampa has ball in hand. They're a quality program. I don't want to. You don't want to get too tricky on defensively, but I would take 42 out of the equation and shut him right down with a short stick and put my poles on everybody else. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I guess you'd rather shut down 42Q than McGraw. Or Wright. Wright is number 8. McGraw is 14. So.
Yeah, I would take a short stick on 42, shut them off, and then put my poles on their other top guys.
Here's Vetter trying to get out in front again. He's capable of scoring goals. Vetter getting checked. 1:07 to go. There's a shot, and it went wide, and Flock picks it up. Flock has got it.
Now we got to get it out of here.
So Flock gives it to Fornadell.
Coach Mack has a timeout, so if he wants to burn one here, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Get a new clock to...
Oh, no, a bad pass, and it goes out of bounds. Fornadell cannot catch it. 48.2 on the clock. Tighten your seatbelts there. Tampa's got some new life here. They need a quick one, though. Ball taken by McGraw. So Tampa can't take too much time here. 33 seconds to go. Gary with a shot and a goal. Oh, this one is literally going to come down to the wire. 32.2 on the clock. Tampa's cut it to 1 at 7-6.
Heartbreaking right there. You had the stop you wanted. Again, maybe the sun was a factor there, but a turnover with no pressure in your defensive zone. I guess you're going to have to earn it this one. You're not going to get away easy here.
It's going to come down to the battle of the 24s like it has most of the day. Dickerson against Pavlina. Boy, Pavlina, this has got to be the biggest face-off of his life.
This is a huge test right here.
So whoever gets this, if it's Tampa, they'll have a good chance of the equalizer, 32.2 to go. If it's Florida Tech, you would think they could run out the clock. And it's picked up. It's picked up by Dickerson. He's trying to take it all the way, and he shoots it high and wide. Tampa, though, will keep it. 25 seconds to go. Oh, Ryan McAlevy's heartbeat has got to be out of control right now. Can Florida Tech hold on?
They bailed him out there. The face-up guy's shot was in the crease. They're saying it's a push, but we'll see.
So Tampa would gladly take overtime right now, looking for the equalizer. There's a shot to save by Flock. That might do it. 15 seconds to go. So Flock just holding on to the ball. And it goes to midfield.
Get a timeout.
5 seconds to go. And Florida Tech is going to win the game 7-6. And look at that celebration on the field. I mean, Florida Tech did not win the national championship right now, but, maybe this will set the course for the future. A huge win for this program. It was anything but easy. This Tampa team is still very good, but Florida Tech holding them to 6 goals. What a win.
Hats off to Florida Tech. They played the game they needed to play, and Tampa just didn't come here energized and ready, and they just didn't match what they needed to match up with today. And I think, again, nothing, both really quality teams, and it's a great victory for Florida Tech, but it might, instill a little energy in Tampa to say, hey, everybody's going to come at you. You got the bullseye on your back, and you have to be ready to step on the field.
So Tampa won the first 8 matchups, but right now they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the one that got away. I mean, and boy, for Florida Tech, what a huge win, and it kind of sent shockwaves around the conference. Now maybe the Rollins and the St. Leos and the Florida Southerns of the world think, well, if Florida Tech can do it, why can't we knock off Tampa? Because, again, Tampa, they're now 20-1 all time.
Yeah, like conference. I said, Tampa has to be ready. Everybody's going to give their A game.
There's a little bit of hope here, I guess.
Yeah,
is what
so
I'm trying
I think everybody, Tampa's better buckle it up and get back on what they need to do again. But they take nothing away. Both goalies played well, defense played well. It came down to possessions and mistakes, and Florida Tech made fewer of them today.
And again, if it's Florida Tech and Tampa at the end, of course, the tiebreaker, if they're somehow tied, it will be head-to-head, and Florida Tech would have that advantage. But, again, the St. Leos and the Linds of the world are going to have something to say about that. So,
yeah, no, again, high-quality ball game. A lot of high school kids out here today. Hopefully saw maybe something they can aspire to be a college lacrosse player. So it's good to see all these young guys out here today.
And, again, Florida Tech improves to 3-4. This has not been an easy season. They lost a couple of tough ones on the road, one at Catawba. So this has not been an easy year, but, maybe this is the time you start putting it together, you get in the conference, and you get on a roll.
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And
right.
This is a good way to kind of put yourself right back on course and getting into the end of the conference play, and then hopefully further on than that.
Well, John, I enjoyed it. This is one I'm going to remember for a little while. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season pans out, but I think Florida Tech will always look back on this win. So.
I think it's part of history. I'm glad to be here to watch it and witness it. So.
Okay. Well, again, Florida Tech back at home noon for Mount Olive, so they'll step out of the conference temporarily and then get back in the conference eventually.
So, nice job.
Thanks, John.
You got it. Always. Pleasure,
okay.
sir.
All right. Talk to you soon. Again, John Combs providing great analysis as usual here on the Panther broadcast. So I'm J.C. Byold signing off. So Tampa with the loss, they fall to 8-2. Florida Tech with the win, they win their second in a row, and they improve to 3-4. Again, I hope you join us Saturday afternoon, as Gary Cooper would say, high noon. It'll be a high noon game as the Panthers will host Mount Olive out of North Carolina. Florida Tech wins at 7-6. Thanks for tuning in. J.C. Byold signing off. Have a great afternoon. This is FloridaTechSports.com.